Hi everybody, Avana Intuitive here with our weekly energy reading for April 17th, 2025, or whenever you happen to find this video. As you know, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please also know that if this resonates with you, that's fine. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. Again, for energy purposes only, I was going to say, but for entertainment purposes only, it's our weekly energy reading and our 3-card pick. Please like, share, and subscribe as it really helps the channel. And this week, you know, one of my most favorite decks, the Akashic Tarot by Sharon and Klingler and her twin sister Sharon and Taylor. Love this deck. We're going to pull some cards from there. I'm going to get a clarifying card from the Archetype Cards of Carolyn Myss. Love this deck. And then we're going to do our 3-card pick from the Intuitive Whispers Oracle from Maude Hirst. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get these cards shuffled. This is that beautiful Akashic Tarot deck. Let's see what we get. We're going to shuffle up. This is for the week. Let's get a nice energy reading here. Let's see what we got. April 17th, for the week of April 17th, 2025. Again, for this week, or again, whenever this video might cross your feed here, you know, you might pop up and it might be something that resonates with you. So let's see. Again, also, I want to mention, as usual, like everybody on YouTube, I, of course, lose subscribers, and, you know, I have a lot, and I appreciate all of you out there. Truly, I appreciate all my subscribers, and I love when you leave comments, and I love when you show up on, you know, the YouTube shows that I'm on. So that's always fun. So, but if you could just double check if you've subscribed, if you could just double check that you are still subscribed, I would appreciate it. And also, if you could subscribe. If you haven't, it is free. So anyway, that being said, let me pull 3 cards. Sorry. All right, there you go. Got the shuffles that I needed to get in. And now let me pull one. This is interesting. I think we've had these cards before. I was like, I know I shuffled the deck really well, and I'm like, I think that, well, these cards look familiar. But I use the deck a lot, but not that much. But anyway, all right, let's see what we got. And I know that I shuffled a lot, so I'm not, and it's not like they're the same, like exactly the same that we've done in the past. So, but we'll see what we get, right? I love it. We'll see what we get. Now I'm shuffling this Archetype Cards. Interesting. All right, first card we get is 17, which is an 8, which is infinity, and it says the Lookout. I love that. We'll go through each card again. 2, the Akashic Library. And then we have the 7 of Roses, the Journey. And then for the Archetype card, we have the Storyteller. So let's see what we have here. First, we have 17, the Lookout. And you can see it looks like, well, they'll tell us. Actually, I love the descriptions on these cards because it tells us what we're looking at. A man looks through binoculars from the crow's nest of a great masted ship. A battle is being waged on the deck below him. This card tells you to be on the lookout. There is a challenging situation, perhaps even a battle of sorts, around you. You could experience a sudden fall or loss of your position. But if you are aware, you can make a backup plan that will help you ride through this difficult time a little more easily. This phase may be temporary, but it's important to keep your balance. Your strength will carry you through to a better time to come. Oh, that's it. Okay. Good to know, right? Being forewarned is being forearmed. So this doesn't necessarily mean this is, you know, that you're in a situation that you're going to have to be on the lookout for, but it's good to know. Then we go into the Akashic Library. Inside a great library, candles cast a glow upon the books in the tall shelves. A sage sits thoughtfully with an open book on his table and a quill pen in hand. Sometimes this card can indicate writing or publishing a book for you, but this card also symbolizes a new initiation, an ability to manifest a new life in every way. You have moved deeper into the Akashic records and to a higher self-awareness. Further investigation may be required, but you now have a better understanding of your old motives and new purposes. Turn the page here. It is also a time of heightened intuition, as well as greater self-creation. During this phase, all you have to do is add a little conscious effort to write your new records in the Akasha. To get started today, write one simple declaration about the future you wish to create and repeat it to yourself often. Then decide one thing you can do to make it happen and do it. Anything can happen now. The breadth of the landscape before you rests solely on the scope of your imagination and your will to own it. Very interesting. It seems like maybe things are kind of coming, burning down a little bit here, like the past, but you have this beautiful, ability to create this new future. Okay, here we go. And then we have, oh my gosh, 7 of Roses, which is saying that it is, of course, the journey. Oh my goodness, this is like the plot thickens. Oh my goodness, this is kind of exciting here. So let's see. 7 of Roses, the plot thickens. This is the journey. A seaport teems with activity as cargo is loaded off and onto many different ships. 2 women on a small tender boat are on their way to the great ship that will take them on their journey. 2 men with their trunks and cases wait to follow. This card shows a time for a journey, a move, or a relocation. You may be taking your work or creative endeavors in a whole new direction, whether figuratively to a new industry or literally to a new city. However this journey occurs, it is sure to take you to new places and greater opportunities. Although it may require leaving something safe behind, this is not the time for staying safe in the harbor. It's time for finding and exploring new worlds. So get packed. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm getting, I get the chills every time. These cards, I love this. I think we all know where this story is going and what I'm going to say. But let's get this storyteller. Let me read about this storyteller, this archetype card. And let's see what we have here. Let's see what we get with that very quickly. Storyteller. Here we go. Storyteller. And it says the light attributes, I'll read that. Ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. The shadow attribute, making up tales that harm others. Storyteller. Relays wisdom and foolishness, mistakes and successes, fact and fiction on a plane that's often heightened beyond ordinary awareness, including a metaphoric level of teaching. Reflects a desire to impose order on what sometimes seems like a chaotic and random universe. Shadow storyteller manifests when we can't resist making up a story to conceal something we don't want to be truthful about, or misusing a skill to our own advantage when sharing information. You don't have to be a professional writer, but a storyteller's voice and methods must be essential to your way of communicating and perceiving the world. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so this is kind of the message I'm getting. If you feel like maybe things are changing in your world, and actually it's kind of interesting because I think things are changing in people's worlds, whether we perceive things are changing, but there maybe really aren't. But maybe how we're viewing the world is changing. But some of us probably are going through real change. We kind of maybe feel the bottom. It's interesting that this gentleman is up here. It's like the bottom is falling out of his world. Like things that, like he's up here and he knows that things are on fire below him. Like the bottom is falling out. So, he's on the lookout. What am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this situation, right? If we're kind of feeling that way, what do we need to do to change our world? How do we move into a new reality? We do, going deep. What kind of new skills do we need to learn? What kind of new dreams is it time to enact? Do we need to get our resume together? Do we need to, I actually was going to say this. I'm going to say it's move in with family or friends, or change our living situation, change our work situation, have a new perspective on things, right? This quote just came into mind. Sometimes we think when we have to change things, we have to lower our standards, but sometimes it's not lowering our standards. We can look at it of changing our standards, and sometimes it's not lowering. I have to change my standards right now so that I can move forward in a new direction. not everything, just because I've changed my standards every time, does not mean I'm lowering them. I'm changing them. I'm moving forward and rebuilding. How many times have I rebuilt my life? I mean, seriously, things change. I have to go with the flow. That's part of life, right? And then again, I love this because this really represents moving forward in a positive direction. Maybe this isn't the right direction for us, right? And we have to move forward. And the universe has a way of, if we don't change it, right, then sometimes the universe changes it for us. In fact, I would say if we don't change things, I would say almost all the time the universe has a way of changing things. If things aren't built on a solid foundation, it's kind of like, it's scary, but when things like the bottom falls out of something, it's never a beautiful, well, it's not never, but it gives us the opportunity to rebuild on a solid foundation and in a direction that we want to build on. So if we find ourselves in this situation, things are kind of burning, that bottom is kind of falling out, you know what? Going deep, where do we want to go? We can create our future. It's not easy. I get that. Sometimes it's easier said than done. I mean, it's always easier said than done, but sometimes it is easy. Sometimes it's like, I was kind of waiting for that change and, I was kind of waiting to make this move and now the door's opened up and I don't really have anything to lose. So I'll move forward that way. But even though sometimes those changes are hard, but we have to do it because that's our only option. Believe me, I've been there. But having this library, this is like our knowledge, our wisdom. And also I'm hearing like speaking with friends and family and people that we trust, even if it's a counselor or a therapist or whatever, and really working through building a strong foundation and in this journey, because going on this beautiful journey, do you see this beautiful, like, I don't know if this is like a sunrise. I'm not going to look it back up if there's anything, whether it's a sunrise or a sunset, but this beautiful like golden light, keeping the focus on the beautiful future that we all have, because we all do. We actually, everything, giving gratitude for what we have, our friends, our family, our jobs, our children, our connections, everything that we bring to the table, the divinity that we have, the sunrise, the sunset, right? All the plants, the bunny that just ran through the yard. I mean, so many beautiful things every day that we can give gratitude for. And being on this beautiful journey, getting our bags packed, getting ready, life moves forward. And I love this because, what? This light attribute storyteller, expressing that gratitude. It says being able to experience and express life through stories and symbols and happiness and, expressing it. I actually ran into somebody today and we were so happy to see each other. We hugged. And then a little bit later in the conversation, she actually like grabbed my hand and like held my hand while we talked. And I thought about it about an hour ago, and now I'm thinking about it again, and I'm bringing it up again because it was really meaningful to me that she felt like she wanted to like hold my hand, and it was really special. And it was such a small thing, but it wasn't. It was like a huge thing, but didn't cost anything. Didn't do it. I mean, it was just nice. It was like somebody wanted to like hold my hand and like express gratitude and love. And it was just a really, really beautiful thing. And, but expressing life through stories and symbols and, hand holding and just going out for lunch together and just expressing life and love through just such simple ways of doing it. And I think that's, sometimes I think too, I believe that I have to like have really huge things to make up my life or to show my value or to show like, yes, I did these big steps in life to move forward. And you know what? It's just doing really what excites me. What do I want to do today? And I'm doing it for myself. And if it sparks someone else, that's fine. If it doesn't, that's fine. Just doing things for myself and not even worrying or wondering or caring if there is like some like payoff at the end. You know what I mean? The payoff is just, I enjoy doing it. I just felt like doing it right now, And so, this is going to sounds kind of silly, but one thing that I love to do every day, and I tape it because I just love watching. I love watching like The Price is Right. I just love watching it. And it just makes me think of when I was a kid at home in the summer and I'd watch it. And I love it. I love the games. I just love it. And it's something that I do pretty much every day, not every single day, but I try to watch it every evening after work and I just unwind to it. And, it's just like a little joy of life. So anyway, hopefully you have those joys too. Loved our energy reading for today or for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. And now here we go into our 3-card pick. So it's our Intuitive Whispers Oracle. Think about something, spirit guide message, maybe something you're thinking about. You can get some guidance on. Again, if it doesn't resonate, that's fine. And here we go, shuffling these cards. All right, here we go. Here we go for a 3-card pick. Card 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. You split them up. 1, 2, 3. Think about which card resonates with you. Don't think too hard. If you picked card 1, 23, your body is like a book. What? I'm like, I don't really know what this means, but you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say we know our body like a book. We know it carries the Akashic records. It carries, our DNA carries all the knowledge and wisdom that we need. And it also talks to us, right? It tells us sometimes, like my body will say, like, I need to go out for a walk. I need to get fresh air and sunshine. We know our body's like a book. Sometimes the doctor will say, I need to put you on this prescription. And I'm like, no, I'm not taking that. My body's like, no, we don't need to do that. Maybe a little bit of fresh vegetables. I'm not saying listen to your doctor. Okay, let me put that out there. I'm not a doctor. That's me. But I'm just saying, you guys listen to your doctor, do it. I'm not a doctor, but I'm not giving any medical advice. I'm just saying listening to our bodies and listening to, ourselves and our body is like a book. I'm really getting that feeling too, that like everything is in our DNA, like all the knowledge, all the love, everything is marked like on our DNA. And moving forward. And then 23 is a 5, which is like change. Like we are changing and we are evolving into higher beings as we move forward. So there you go for card 1. Card 2 is the number 1, and it's slow down. If you picked card 2, that's the message you may need to hear today. And if you picked card 3, you got 14, which is feel into emotions. And it has this lion with the sunflower, with the transition, like the butterflies. With 14-5, change, right? Feel into emotions, like just feeling into your emotions as you move forward. Feeling into changing things, almost like before you I love this. Before you there's 2 things here. Before you maybe jump off the handle and do something, feel into, why am I feeling this? Why am I upset? Why am I happy? Why am I crying? Why am I mad? Feeling into those emotions, taking those emotions down into, our emotions tell us what our beliefs are. So then identifying those beliefs and seeing if maybe we can't change those beliefs, move them a little bit, whatever, update them if we can, whatever. So there you go. All right, my friends, that's our weekly energy reading for the week, our 3-card pick. Thank you so much for being here. As you know, on Mondays, I do my 3-card pick a card shorts. Tuesdays are my super duper girl shorts. Wednesdays are my weekly astrology tarot cards readings. Today, weekly energy readings. Tomorrow, weekend energy readings with a 3-card pick. So I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.